Everybody, before you see any of these videos you see right now, first thing all I want to say is subscribe. I say not subscribe. Well, yeah, do that as well. Follow and subscribe to your boy Twitch. Y'all see it as Press Williams 23 GOAT numbers. So, hey, subscribe to the Twitch because this what y'all get the content early. You feel me? If y'all want to see the content, me making the content, come to the Twitch. You go see me making content, and we gonna have a good ass time on Twitch and stuff. So, yo, that's all I gotta say. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy the video. I'm out. Subscribe to the Twitch. On YouTube, we got Deku versus Asta. My Hero versus Black Clover. And I ain't gonna lie, this a good squabble. You feel me? This a good squabble, but if I really gotta take an edge, because if they going with the stuff in the manga and stuff, I ain't gonna know, y'all. I ain't gonna know, because if they talk about any stuff for Oscar in the manga, I ain't gonna know none of his new shit, because first of all, I like Black Clover. That's an anime I like. I literally got to see. Like, that's an anime I don't want to see the manga. I just want, when that mother get animated, it get animated. You feel me? I'll be watching it. I will watch it. But I give it to Deku. And the reason why I give it to Deku is his strength. His strength. Like, that nigga is hella, like, strong. But Oscar, too. Oscar is hella strong. With no freaking mass shit. He's still hella strong. So, hey, let's see what Death Battle's got to say for this. I know I've been talking for a good minute, but hey, that's why y'all here for.
Deku, My Hero Academia's super student straight out of UA High.
Asta, the anti-magical ass kicker from Black Clover.
Though you may be born bereft of the same gifts as your peers, there is nothing stopping you from achieving your dreams.
As long as you're a fictional character in a fantasy world. I mean, as long as you've got your friends by your side, you'll pack a hell of a punch.
Oh shit, my bad, y'all.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Maybe scoop back.
Izuku Midoriya wanted only one thing from life: to be a beacon of hope, just like his idol, the #1 ranked superhero in Japan, All Might.
Facts.
Too bad he was born a freak with no powers. You heard right. This is like a reverse X-Men thing where 80% of the population gets red superpowers, or quirks as they're called, while the remaining fifth are stuck as basic bitches, or as his spiky-haired bully Bakugo called him, Deku.
That's a pun on the Japanese word dekunobu, meaning good for nothing.
Persevering despite his basic bitchedness, Midoriya got the chance to prove his quirkless heroic mettle against this giant.
But I ain't gonna lie, Oscar and Midoriya, they kinda in the same boat.
His body secretly decaying from a horrific injury. All Might
story-wise, same boat. Story-wise, they in the same boat. Damn.
Kings Road is now available on both PC and.
Damn, we barely start. It's an ad.
With glory seekers in it for fame and money, All Might wanted someone whose body moved on its own to save someone.
He saw exactly that in young Midoriya.
Hell
and gave him
yeah.
one of the most powerful quirks in the world.
One for all.
That was the problem. Even after bulking up from lad to Chad, the recoil from even one punch would shatter all the bones in his arm. So he trained to be able to handle his gift at the superhero school of his dreams, UA High.
And that's when he decided to own the name used as a cudgel against him for so many years. Turns out, Deku can also be an abbreviation for Dekiru, someone who can do anything.
Exactly the opposite of Deku Nobu. One for All allows Deku to release absolutely absurd amounts of strength from different parts of his body, with super moves named after US cities and states.
Deku still can't access all of his power safely though. Using 100% will quickly destroy his body, which is why he learned to distribute his strength evenly across his body, a technique known as full cowling. This lets him increase his speed and durability as well, making him more all-rounded, and shifting focus to his own interpretation of One For All inspired by his pal Ida, shoot style.
Where he pulls out a Glock and blows your brains out! Okay, not really, but in keeping with One For All's rabbit theme, he trades All Might's signature punches for kicks. My version's better. You ever seen Rabbit vs. Gun? I have, and I know how it plays out.
Considering the much higher muscle mass of a human's legs, shoot style allowed Deku to output even more power while giving his arms a break. A break from a break.
And despite being a classic melee build, Deku can fight at range by punching powerful gusts of air, and even precisely aim them with specially designed gloves.
And one thing I gotta give it to the edge, if Deku get, like, bro, if he using everyone, like, every all for one, bro, Deku most definitely will win it against Asta, because, bro, like, bro, all for one is just a powerful clerk, but I don't know, because Asta demon form is crazy. So, you know what? Once again, like the James Bond battle. Nah, I gotta pick a side. I gotta stick with Deku. I can't switch.
Deku has an encyclopedic knowledge of
I
quirks
can't
and
switch.
is always analyzing their strengths and weaknesses mid-battle, even if he does sound a little weird.
Despite only barely getting accepted in the first place, Deku quickly became one of Class 1A's most dependable fighters. Because, yeah, somehow these students are constantly getting drafted into literal wars against murderous supervillains.
Midoriya's successes in
for
battle
real.
against ruthless criminals like Stain, Muscular, and Overhaul came much to his old bully's chagrin. Where Bakugo was a child prodigy, he now found himself overshadowed by his hard-working rival, and the two used their mutual respect and animosity to motivate each other to get stronger.
Classic frenemies. They're only solving their problems by pounding the.
That's why I say him and Oscar kind of got like a same resemblance story, bro. That's why I always say like they got the same resemblance story.
It had been passed down 8 times until it arrived at Deku, with each inheritance also carrying the previous user's natural quirk as well.
Like Black Whip, which lets him manifest crazy long and strong energy tendrils to tie enemies up and swing around the city, or shoot one out of his mouth, just like our girl Fruppy.
And Danger Sense, which gives him a minor reactive precognition.
AKA, he's Spider-Man. Not even a reach, the mangaka is like the biggest Spidey fan ever.
He can also produce a smoke screen to mask his presence, float in midair, or store kinetic energy over time with Fa Jin.
Like that. By storing up enough, he can even match All Might's max power without any recoil to boot. Strong enough to change the weather and create city block-sized tornadoes with a single punch.
And he's even stronger with his newest quirk, Gear Shift, which allows him to increase the speed of an object anytime he touches it. In conjunction with the power of All For One, he can use this to warp reality itself. Deku can go toe-to-toe with arch-villains like Shigaraki, who's fast enough to react to and catch laser beams with his bare hands.
But nothing could prepare him for All Might's archenemy, the shadowy leader of the League of Villains, All For One.
All Might only ever showed his young pupil kindness and support, but that couldn't change the absolutely crushing pressure Deku felt at every moment.
Even classically trained dickhead Bakugo came to help his teammate out when he needed it, like when they teamed up to share One For All and punch an island-sized hole in the clouds 24 miles high.
Just goes to show that even One For All isn't a one-man army. Deku's true strength comes from his teamwork between himself and his friends.
And with their help, Deku will surely become that beacon of hope he dreamt about as a child.
One
Facts.
hero for all mankind. This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile.
Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll
Only play
Mint Mobile
3-month battle.
a month.
God damn, and they hit us with and my phone just dropped.
Magic! You know it, you love it, and in the world of Black Clover, it doesn't come from a box you bought at a tacky West Hollywood
Facts.
costume shop. Everyone's got it.
Mana is the source of all magic, a supernatural energy found in the air and in living beings. Except living beings whose names are Asta.
Not only was the young Asta an orphan abandoned by his mother at a church as a baby, he was born with a mutation that prevents him from having any mana to speak of. Well, neither do I, and you don't hear me crying about it.
Yes, you do, all of the time. But Asta had a dream. Despite his lack of magic, he and his best friend Yuno promised each other one of them would rise to the throne of the greatest military position in the land, the Wizard King. Wizard King? Really, guys? Sometimes they call it Magic Emperor, but we all know what they mean.
So he dedicated himself to getting swole as all hell. In a world of nerds, he would be its lone jock god, shoving every last wizard into a locker until they crowned him king.
But huge, frightening pectorals on a tiny, screaming goblin child weren't enough on its own. He needed something powerful enough to shut down his opponent's magic.
He needed the 5-leaf Clover Grimoire.
Essentially a book of spells, a grimoire will choose its user and float beside their wielder at all times.
And Asta was lucky enough to receive the Una Reverse card of Grimoires. The 5-leaf Clover can harness the power of anti-magic, which will literally no...
Hold up, my bad. My bad. Y'all was hearing a little echo. And stuff.
nullify the effects of
My
other
bad.
magic spells, almost like wizard kryptonite. Let the locker stuffing commence. Haha, get nerds.
It wasn't long before Asta was accepted into one of the 9 squads of Clover Kingdom's Magic Knights, the Black Bulls, filled with lazy drunkards, antisocial otakus, and literal sociopaths.
My kind of people. Yep, mostly. But much like with Asta, you shouldn't judge a grimoire by its cover. And soon they were all working together and kicking ass like a family
Yeah.
should.
Asta harnesses the power of anti-magic by summoning swords imbued with it from the grimoire. Normally, these swords would quickly drain the mana from anyone foolish enough to wield them, but Asta does not have any mana, turning his greatest weakness into a one-of-a-kind strength.
He's got his classic Demon Slayer, an enormous greatsword which cuts through spells with its
Yeah.
edge and deflects them with its flat. Or the Demon Dweller, which can also absorb and copy magic, then toss it right back to sender.
I think my personal favorite is the more complex Demon Destroyer, which severs the relationship between a spell's cause and effect, countering the effects of its magic. This could result in anything from healing a village that was inflicted with poison to preventing reincarnation.
Yeah, okay, some of these can get a little heady. I personally prefer keeping it simple, like using anti-magic telekinesis to surf on your sword through the sky.
It's worth noting that these swords are made specifically for countering magical attacks and sources of mana. The swords will act as though blunted when striking non-magical foes, more akin to giant clubs than actual blades. Not entirely inconsistent with real-life greatswords.
But none of that's even close to as cool as his deadliest sword, the
Facts.
Demon Slasher, a katana as black as the pits of hell and twice as badass.
This one actually does cut like a sword, but
God. But what I was finna say is, y'all, they need to come back with another Black Clover. I know they dropped the movie and shit, but hey, I need the full like season, bro. Give us that demon war, because that's what mostly is, a demon war.
it's complicated.
And my bad, we was handling some business. But since the business is over, let's get right into the video.
only affecting his target while leaving anything else unharmed.
Y'all know who I'm
Okay,
talking
at this
to.
point, isn't that just magic?
I hope
magic
so.
with a loophole.
And he studied the blade long enough to become a master swordsman to boot. Not in the real life sense, in the anime sense.
He can spin himself like a tornado to deflect
Facts.
magic spells, thrust forward at top speed like a charging bull, launch a barrage of anti-magic projectiles, and even channel anti-magic into his swords to vastly increase their size.
Well, while he may be no good with mana, he has learned to detect ki. Because, of course,
The life force existing in all things, Asta can detect hidden opponents and even predict their movements ahead of time, as long as he's fast enough to react.
with such crazy powers, Asta was taking on threats like the Eye of the Midnight Sun, the
Facts.
Devil Zagrid, and the Dark Triad. So many nerds, never enough lockers. Too bad for Asta, though. He had one serious inner demon.
Literally, housed within the five-leaf clover grimoire was Liba, a demon exiled
Yep.
from hell for completely lacking magical powers, and who just so happened to get adopted by Asta's mother.
Until he got possessed by a different demon and killed her. Vowing vengeance on all demon kind, Liba manifested anti-magic from his hatred as a way to kick their asses. Which
Yep,
gave him
they-
and Asta a lot of common ground, despite the whole, mom murder thing.
In fact, the two
But the crazy thing about this shit is like, bro, the nigga, like, bro, whole brother was in the book whole time. Like, if you really want to say Gotti Angel, that was really his Gotti Angels right there. Like, nah, nigga, like, nigga, you getting your peeps. You don't know this your peeps, but y'all gonna bond. And that's why I say I wish the anime come back, man.
two became true brothers and formed an unstoppable duo. Liba can actually fully merge with Asta for a massive power boost that lasts up to 5 minutes. At the
Hell
cost
yeah.
of leaving Asta nearly powerless for the next half hour.
Come on, I want it. Yeah, I'll take it if I get to be strong enough to slice buildings to pieces, obliterate huge chunks of earth, and tear the most powerful demons apart. Give me the goddamn book.
I'm the book boy, okay? Even characters earlier in the series like Patoli had magic capable of completely vaporizing the entire Clover Kingdom in a single attack. And demons that Asta has fought since then like Dante and Lucifero are leagues stronger.
Hell, screw all these demon forms and anti-magic powers. Asta's body is so incredibly well trained, he dodged a beam of light while sleeping. As in, he was asleep, and the force of his sneeze pushed his head out of the way of a beam of light. Light speed sneezes, everyone.
And despite his headstrong and irritating personality,
AKA
Yeah.
screaming at the top of his lungs as
Yeah.
often as possible.
Asta's an
Loud
intelligent
as
fighter
hell.
who has leveraged his skill against far more experienced foes.
Like,
But it wouldn't
Asta
be
is that
anywhere
loud
without the
cousin, that
ragtag
family
band of
function
deviants he
y'all
calls
can't stand.
friends. With them at his side, there's no way he won't climb the ranks to take the Wizard King's throne. Especially with Yuno pushing them both to get
Yeah.
stronger.
Unlike other classic shonen rivalries, this one isn't tainted by antagonism. They truly want what's best for each other, even if they're
Facts.
competing for the same throne.
Yuno's gonna need all the luck he can get, cause even if Asta never gets mana of his own, his true magic is never given up.
Have you
Nah,
wished you could
facts,
play a video
bro.
game your
That's one
way?
thing about that kid I
You
like
can be
about,
invincible,
like, he don't give up.
unimaginably wealthy, or even teleport.
Like,
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Life can be revealed.
Prioritize your
Optimized. Don't have to
match.
better help.
The combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
come on, Deku.
It's time
Hold on,
for
hold on, hold on,
attack.
hold on, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Before I even say anything, who do y'all got y'all money on? Because me, I'm going with Deku. But I know some of y'all going with Asta. But hey, all I gotta say, roll me my money, bro. When Deku wins, I need my money from y'all, Black Clover fans. Now, yeah, damn, why I made it so personal?
Battle!
Sword that big? He's gotta be crazy strong. I'm gonna have to rely on more than just my power to take him down.
Just gotta hit him
really hard.
There you go, Deku.
Luck will run for his money.
Aren't swords supposed to be sharp? His speed isn't slowed by his sword's weight at all. Gotta hamper his movements and get that book out of his hands. Huh? He found me!
Hey, these boys banking. These boys banking. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm kind of entertained. That's that black whip.
Wait! Are you not using magic? What kind of magic emperor would I be if I can't beat a guy like this? Detroit Smash! Detroit Smash! Detroit Smash!
Looks, bruh. That nigga Oscar, hey, one thing, that nigga can take damage. He can take damage for some reason. That nigga can take pain.
I don't know what Detroit is, but I've had enough of it. I'm ending this quick! Hit me with all you've got, because I'm never going down!
Okay. They both said, hold up, we both cooking in this mud. Alright. What you got, Deku? Get up, my boy. We got money on you.
No use not going all out anymore. I just gotta hit him really hard.
There we go.
Here it is! 1 billion percent! Plus Ultra!
He went all out. Oh, it's all about who got the willpower. Who really got the willpower?
I did it.
Oh.
Take that, Detroit.
Poor Deku.
I know what y'all saying. No, what all that stuff you was saying? No, man, that's our money. I know. I thought that boy, that cool had you. That nigga took, bruh, I ain't gonna lie. I see why he won, though. Oscar just got more will, bro. His body just got more will, bro. He got more willpower. Damn. I run y'all money too. That shit just hurt. Damn. I know y'all Black Clover fans is talking mad shit right now. Damn.
He tried his best, but
I don't even
Asta
want to
just
talk about it.
shoved him into that great big locker in the sky.
Both Deku and Asta were fairly evenly matched melee fighters without any specific abilities to give one an easy edge over the other. Though, to be fair, the variety of quirks Deku inherited from past users of One For All did make him more versatile and unpredictable.
Plus, quirks are
Facts.
biological mutations, not connected to some supernatural energy source like mana. So Asta's anti-magic powers were basically useless here.
And Deku was generally a smarter and more tactical fighter, but against Asta's incredible might, this time brawn beat brains.
Let's crunch some numbers! Deku's greatest feat of strength was splitting that enormous cloud formation with Bakugo.
By measuring the size of the island and comparing it to the clouds above, we can determine they dispersed over 63 trillion kilograms of water.
Damn.
That's the weight of the Great Pyramid of Giza. 12,000 of them!
And required an energy of nearly 80 teratons of TNT per punch.
Let's compare that
Damn.
to Asta. But Toli's spell was going to be strong enough to vaporize a country the size of the Clover Kingdom.
We can use this map.
You know what? Realizing that nigga, yeah, I should have known. I should have known, bruh. He just had the more willpower. I said it during the video too. That's
From
the
the manga
funny
to estimate
shit.
the size of Clover Kingdom to be about 500 kilometers in diameter, about half the length of Great Britain. Vaporizing a country of that size would require an energy of over 480 teratons of TNT, over 6 times greater than Deku's punch.
Fact.
While Asta uses anti-magic, it isn't an automatic counter. It needs to be comparable in strength to the spell it's combating. And Asta's gotten way stronger since.
Asta
Yeah.
was also quicker. Sure, scaling to Shigaraki would give Deku roughly light speed reaction time.
But Asta could dodge light in his sleep, and that's
Yeah.
his base form. Even before transforming with Liba to get way faster.
And since Deku and Asta's precognitive abilities more or less matched each other, it was only a matter of time before Asta simply overwhelmed him.
Damn.
Especially since Deku has struggled in the past against faster opponents. Sure, Deku was smarter, but if he literally didn't have enough time to come up with a plan of attack before getting hammered, his brains were wasted.
Deku's tactical brilliance and harem-scarum tenacity definitely gave his opponent a run for his money, but Asta's raw power, blinding speed, and deadlier weaponry spelled the end for All Might's pupil.
Deku gave it his all,
Ah.
and I wish he had won. Hasta la vista.
The winner is Asta.
Black Clover fans, I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it from y'all. I got this one. That next death battle, we doing Obito versus Dark Vader. I got Obito. Some of y'all gonna say Dark Vader, but I want my money on that too.